Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Hope everybody is doing good, man. We're diving a lot into these rookies right now, and I got two of the best quarterbacks in this draft class we're going to be dissecting in a game. It is player versus Caleb Williams and Drake Maye. Boomer bust, tail of the tape. Who's going to be the better prospect overall based on, intangibles, statistics, and potentially where they could land in this NFL draft? It is a great storyline, great topic that we're going to be dissecting for at least the next few months. Who should be the top prospect in this NFL draft? I know a lot of people on the Caleb bandwagon. A lot of people fell off a long time ago as well, saying that he is a potential bust, including some former NFLers who are making claim to this fact. But I like to dissect these guys in a game we like to play in a 4-round contest. Let's talk boomer bust, baby. Caleb Williams and Drake Maye. Let's talk the intangibles, the measurables. 6'1", 218 for a Caleb. We're 6'5", 220 for a Drake Maye. Well, statistically speaking, we know Caleb just absolutely blew up the college football landscape. 37 games, 66.9 on the completions, over 10,000 yards passing, 93 TD passes, only 14 interceptions, where we saw Drake Maye take over for a Sam Howell, played in 30 games, 64.9% on the completions, 8,000 yards passing plus, and then 63 TDs to only 16 interceptions. Both are very mobile quarterbacks as well, man. Almost 1,000 yards for Caleb on 289 attempts and 27 rushing touchdowns. So Caleb is that guy that is, the backyard football, creative, making plays, where we got Drake Maye taking what defenses do give him. 302 attempts for 1,209 yards and 16 touchdowns. So both extremely mobile. And we talk about a Drake Maye. I got these scouting reports for you guys coming down the line, but there is a little bit of dog in a Drake Maye, Josh Allen style when he does run in the open field. But let's talk round one. We got 4 on the category: size, stats, college football success, and leadership qualities. Which one is better in this sense? Size, we got to give it to a Drake Maye. Obviously stands 6'5", the prototypical size and frame we are looking for out of our quarterbacks, where we do see Caleb is stout on the frame. He's just on the shorter end of that, man, just over 6'1", and we will see what the measurables do, pan out at the NFL Combine. Statistically speaking, we got to edge to, obviously, a Caleb Williams. Stat-wise, in only 7 games, we're way better than a Drake Maye. 37 games, over 10,000 yards, 93 TDs, 27 rushing TDs, where we saw Drake Maye with 8,063 and only 16 rushing touchdowns. So statistically speaking, Caleb does get the edge in that sense. College football success, we got to lean towards a Caleb Williams as well. He's got the Heisman, he's got the stats, okay, bowl games, whatever. Wasn't necessarily, great for both these gentlemen, but college football success based on the Heisman, based on the fact that he has, prolonged his college football career to be the potential top-end pick, Caleb Williams. So we got to give the college football success to his side. Leadership capabilities and qualities, I'm going to lean a little bit towards a Drake Maye. Some of y'all may disagree, and that's okay. But you got to think, what really turned my head was as they did have the final 6 games for USC, Caleb kind of lost that locker room, you felt a little bit. And when we saw him sit out in that bowl game, we saw the team say, now we're a team, making claim to say that Caleb was the issue for this club in that final 6 contest. I'm not so, concerned with him showing emotion on the field. That's not where the leadership goes for me. It's just almost to feel like he might have lost the locker room as the, season did wear on. So Drake Maye does get the leadership qualities for me on the checkbox. So as a dead heat after the first round, even Steven, we go into round number 2. Arm strength, arm talent, both extremely elite arm strengths and talents. We're going to give double checks to both these gentlemen. You cannot, it's basically splitting hairs at this point when it comes to arm strength and arm talent. They are both in the elite category, both very sound in this department, can get it down the field, can make plays, can make tight window throws. They are both very good in this respect. Velocity, while I'm going to say there's a caveat on this, I'm going to say in the pocket. I like Drake Maye's velocity in the pocket more than I do Caleb, where Caleb is extremely, has a great zip on the ball when he is rolling out of the pocket and creating more than a Drake Maye. So velocity, I'm just going to say more so in the pocket, I'll give the check mark to a Drake Maye. Where outside the pocket, I would give something to a Caleb Williams. But in this one, I do like Drake's passing velocity just a little bit more because he is, in the system on point when he is when he is looking for his wide receivers. Accuracy-wise, we will give it just a slight touch to a Caleb Williams. While I don't hate what Drake Maye can do, they're both very accurate quarterbacks. They can both dissect. We have seen issues where Drake does get off script a little bit, and he is missing targets, especially on rollouts. We see the passes too high behind his wide receivers, where we see Caleb, when he does create, it is pinpoint accuracy and ball placement all the time. So I do like the accuracy just a little bit more for Caleb in this sense, where ball placement, these gentlemen can put the ball in the tightest of windows, in the, passing on a dime, in the breadbasket. These guys are very good at their craft, and they will challenge in this respect as well. Ball placement, I'm giving double check marks, just like arm strength, because they are that talented, and we are in a dead heat once again after 2 rounds. Even Steven in this one, as well, as these quarterbacks do showcase their talents with their arm ability, no question. Speed, round 3, let's talk some speed. I'm going to give it to Caleb. And, while he did put on more pounds as he did come from OU to USC, you got to understand, man, putting on the weight, you do see it in the tape that it suggests that Caleb isn't as speedy as he used to be with the Oklahoma Sooners, but I'm still going to give the speed to a Caleb. It's going to be interesting to see what these two gentlemen do run at the combine for the 40 time. Drake is definitely very mobile and can get away from, linebackers that don't have the wheels, where Caleb, I do think that he is a little bit more, refined in that respect, that he is faster. So I'm going to give him the check marks in the speed categories right there. If you go back to his OU tape, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about in that respect. Mobility aspect, both very mobile, but I'll give 2 checks to a Caleb because, he creates like a madman, where Drake Maye finds the open holes and he's able to run, and, when there's nothing open down the field, he's able to create and be that mobile quarterback, where Caleb Williams is that backyard football guy. His ability to create on the fly is bar none, next to none, impressive, and he is that good in that respect. This is why, if you're talking about why would you draft a Caleb Williams, it is for those categories where he will be able to create, he will be able to evade tacklers coming at him in the pocket, and he will be able to extend plays. That's where the mobility comes for the double checks for Caleb in this sense. Pocket presence for me and footwork are one and the same, and I am giving both to a Drake Maye in this sense. Pocket presence for me, where Drake Maye is very sound in this respect. Caleb is not terrible, but I do feel that Caleb does like to bounce quicker than he does like to keep his eyes, I want to say, in the pocket, okay? Not keep his eye. He always keeps his eyes down the field, but when he's in the pocket, this is the big issue for me. I think Drake is a lot better in this respect, where Caleb does like to bounce, roll out, take off, and run, where Drake Maye will stand in there, take some heat. He sidesteps his, step-ups in the pocket are absolutely phenomenal in a Drake Maye, where Caleb is more ready to bounce out, east and west rather than north and south. So you got to believe pocket presence right now for Drake Maye is getting the check mark for me, where the footwork as well. We've seen Caleb, he does, get happy feet at times. He could have flat feet at times. Drake Maye's feet in the pocket are just bouncy. He's always bouncing those feet, ready to move, ready to step up, ready to sidestep, backstep. You see the footwork in a Drake Maye. Absolutely phenomenal improvements year over year from 2 years ago to this past season. Footwork definitely getting an uptick for me for a Drake Maye over a Caleb Williams in that respect. So round 3, we are still tied in this respect for these categories, boom or bust. And both quarterbacks, like I said, they are very talented prospects and will showcase very mirrored, skill sets in a lot of these respects. Last round, we got round 4. Creativity comes with the mobility, and we're going to give that to a Caleb Williams. Like I'm saying, he is probably one of the best quarterbacks I have seen with torque on the ball when he is rolling out, especially cross-body rolling left. He is so good in this respect, where a Drake Maye does need a little bit of improvement when it comes to rolling out left or right. He needs to, more torque, more velocity on the ball, where Caleb's got this down to a science and a T, where he can make dot throws when he's rolling cross body. Creativity in this man. He will escape, he will evade, he will keep plays going. That's why a lot of people are suggesting he is the next coming of a Patrick Mahomes. I'm not there to say he's next Patrick Mahomes, but he does create much like Patrick Mahomes does on the field, no question. Field awareness, both in different categories, where I'm saying both keep their eyes down the field. Very impressive. You don't see this from a lot of youthful, talented quarterbacks coming into the NFL draft process. Caleb Williams does not stop looking downfield. He's always looking to extend plays, but he's always looking downfield to find his wide receivers on these, backyard plays where they are chopping off their routes and coming back to the quarterback so that he can can find them. He does this exceptionally well, where Drake Maye's field awareness is more in the progression aspect, where he will stand in the pocket and he will look for his wide receivers and he will find them on the regular, and that's why I'm giving field awareness both check marks. Where progression, I'm going to go a little bit more to Drake Maye. I think he's more polished in the pocket than a Caleb Williams is at this point, where we did see a lot of, in these last 6 games, we saw Caleb kind of go away from the progression aspect of finding his wide receivers and was always looking to bounce out. But I will caveat that also with poor offensive line play from these USC Trojans, so it's a little bit of both. So if Caleb does get on a squad that does have a good offensive line, I think we will see that progression aspect continue to build for Caleb, where it's not terrible. I just like it better for a Drake Maye. Overall ceiling for these prospects, I'm going to have to give it to a Caleb Williams. I mean, he's just more explosive. He's the playmaker that you're looking for, the guy that's never going to give up on plays, where Drake does have some improvements he does require in his game that he's going to round out. And I think on a positive team with a good, receiving core, running game, offensive line, Drake Maye is going to be very successful, where I do think Caleb Williams could at some point carry a team that does have some inadequacy. He's just going to have to be more trustworthy in his arm, in his eyes, to see where he can throw the football. So I'll give ceiling just a little bit more to a Caleb Williams. And we got a first winner, man, in this one. It is Caleb by a hair in round 4. And the total scores, man, 11-16 to 10-16. Caleb winning by 1 point. These guys are so good and talented. I am telling you, you watch their film, it is an absolute joy and pleasure when you see these guys on the field and what they're able to do. Both are quality quarterbacks that should impact both teams wherever they land in the NFL draft. They are so talented. Right now, I'm a bigger fan of Drake Maye because of the size over a Caleb Williams, but Caleb is so good in all of the aspects that does make him a quality quarterback to keep a team on his back. But they are so talented. I love them both, and I think they will impact a team greatly here in the NFL. But there you have it. That is Boomer Boss Tail of the Tape. Which quarterback is better in some of these intangibles? It is very close, like you're seeing. I will have their scouting reports down the road for y'all, so you know exactly what I see with these players, but they're absolutely supreme talents, and we rival, the Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields NFL draft. This draft class does have a lot of talented quarterbacks where it comes to Caleb, Drake Maye, Jaden Daniels. These guys are very sound, talented quarterbacks, and it's going to be definitely fun breaking down their film, but nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. I am out.